Hi, welcome.
Yeah, welcome. We are Merkel. We are a data-driven marketing agency, and as the Amsterdam branch, we focus on product development. Yeah, that's all good. Okay. We design and develop mobile and web applications from scratch. That's what we usually do. Well, sometimes we pick up. Anyway. We do this for various companies ranging from startups to corporate enterprises. So this is our talk. Then, well, Steven is our design lead at Merkle Netherlands. Unfortunately, he felt sick today and he will not be presenting today. But no worries, we've got it covered. A little bit less design, a little bit more of the rest. So he has worked on a wide range of innovative projects as well, from campaign websites to e-commerce, from augmented reality and VR, and to VR interfaces. And he recently won an award for his work on MoneyU design system. If you've heard of MoneyU, this is a competitor of Tiki.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tiki competitor. Oh, anyway. And then we've got Thanos. He's our front-end developer, also at Merkle Netherlands, and he's specializing in React and React Native applications. He's currently working with clients like Netherlands Red Cross and Kinderpostzegels. Yeah, that's the other one.
And this is Paul. He's our senior backend developer and also our security officer here at Merkel. So he makes sure that our computers are locked when we leave our desk. And he works for clients like BMW and O2, and he's also a certified AWS solutions architect. And his ultimate goal is to automate everything. That's I had to read that.
All the things. So designers love developers. So there is a lot of agencies that have troubles of aligning developers with designers. This results in typically irritations like, the final thing does look nothing like I envisioned it, or your design is impossible to implement. Does it really worth it? And looking at our maturity and experience, we've built a lot of startups. We've got this covered. So our developers and designers value good collaboration. Our designers, we have a couple. Faya is still here. Yeah, he's collaborating with us. Yeah, and because they make our lives, all our lives easier, and this creates a higher quality product at the very end. Love is all around.
Yes, but there's still obviously a lot of room for improvement. And we have the right mindset between designers and developers, but how can we speed things up even more? Unfortunately, a complete automated pipeline from design to development is not yet available, but how do we get close to that as much as we can? So enter CDD+D+D.
A lot of these, but
yeah, so component-driven design and development and deployment. So let's focus on the way this works. So we start with designing the initial vision, and then we organize our design into components and into a design system. And then we use components from the design system in our application, and then we also continuously deploy the changes and updates that we make to those components.
And to production. Well, in this case, production. So design part.
Yeah, so Steven's not here, so I'm just going to mention the tools that our designers use. They use Sketch for their designs, and in order to properly hand off their Sketch designs, they use Zeppelin, and Zeppelin has a built-in style guide functionality, and that means that components that they've created in their design end up as components in the Zeppelin style guide, and then developers can access the style guide and see, check all the component specs like padding, colors, or typography.
Then we go to design system. More slides.
Yes, for our design system we use Storybook. So Storybook is an open source tool for developing UI components in isolation. So you can create a component like that, and you can add functionality, and clicks, stuff like that. And it's for React, Vue, and Angular. And so on your left, you can see the actual React component.
The style button, style components.
And on the right, you can see the Storybook implementation, where you can render the component with different states, for example, different colors or other properties that you want to highlight.
We will showcase it a little bit.
I think it's the next one.
No, the next one is development.
Yeah, oh yeah, development. So, what did I do?
This.
Oh yeah, so after we've created the design system, we need to start using it, obviously. So we produce a React app, we install the design system as a library module, and then we import the components, and then we use them directly in the application. So yeah, on your right you can see the package.json file, where we install the module. Paul will talk a bit more later, a bit more about that. And on the left you can see the components being imported at the top, and well, it's a bit small for that. And they're used in the application.
For purposes of the demo, we implemented 3 of them, 3 components with the whole design system as a library, and yeah, we use them in the React application. And then we wrap the work up and continuously deploy. Let's deploy that. So Pride and Prejudice and Jenkins. So everything is better when you add and Jenkins to it. Oh wait, was it zombies? Yeah, or zombies. Anyway, so the pipeline stage results as it goes from top to bottom, from left to right. So design team spills out design pages and component system as a product. Then design system is based on the designs as a component library. Then component library is consumed by the application developers, and the front-end team produces a web application afterwards. So then next we continuously deliver the whole thing. Deploy component library. So this is how we automate the deployment for component library in Jenkins. We first commit some changes. Well, after updating the designs, the system itself, we commit changes. Right now, we've implemented a Git pre-commit hook that actually builds the final Node module as part of the Git repository. Then we push changes to the remote origin. GitHub Jenkins integration triggers a Jenkins build automatically, which you can see on the left, on the right, on the top. Then the build stage produces a storybook through React.js application. Storybook is it could be React, Vue, and AngularJS. So, but it is a standalone application. And then we deploy this to AWS as a static website. So this picture is not really mine, but the idea is the same. We use some custom domains, CloudFront for custom domain and providing SSL, and all the files are deployed to S3 and served from over there. So, and Route 53 is DNS service provider. Then we build the web application itself, and we are lucky that the web application is also React.js application, so we do exactly the same steps, but we omit the npm module building on commit hook. This is not needed, and instead of building a storybook application, we build the application itself. So here you can see the Jenkins file. This is the first part, this is the second part. So we use some options, we select some agent, I decided to use the parameters as some predefined values, so this could be done, so the whole build process could be done in integration environment without any human interaction. So you just push and then everything is picked up. These are default parameters for integration environment, so this is not technically production, and there's 12-factor app principles. The 12th one is that the production scripts must be a one-time job and it needs to be manual. So if you want to deploy to production, you go to Jenkins, build with parameters, update the values, and then the whole process deploys to production. You just need to know the proper values. Here we install dependencies, then we build the design system, then we deploy the system to S3, and then we invalidate the CloudFront because you want to have, which is a CDN, because you want to have people to have not the cached results, but the latest results. That's why you invalidate the cache. Then we can also test a little bit.
Okay, so it's demo time, so screen over here.
that one?
Yes. Can you put it back?
Yes. Yeah, okay.
Okay. So I'm going to show a deployed design system and deployed demo app. That's over here. So it's in our AWS environment. And this is our Storybook app.
Also deployed.
Yes. And then I'm going to make changes in the library, in the design system library. Say, for example, our designer gives us a new Zeppelin file with that doesn't have any border radius, and yeah, the color of the hover is supposed to be green. So then I make the updates. Oh wait.
Go to localhost. Show the localhost. This style story.
I will, just 1 second.
So right now you can see that the only file that is updated is the source component, the button.js. And now we're waiting to commit to this thing. Can you show the log one? Yeah, update button. Can you click on it? So, but it actually updated the dist folder.
Yeah, the Husky hook that we have, it also generated the disk component.
Yep.
And then we go back to our local environment, and here we can see the component changed. So if I hover over it, now it's green. And then I push all of this.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'll go to Jenkins. I bet you're all here to see me go into Jenkins.
No.
Oh yeah, design system. So here we have Jenkins.
Yeah, it already started the build process. So now we have to wait a little bit for a new instance to spawn up on AWS. We don't, well...
Yeah, we were thinking about adding a slide with cat videos while we were waiting, but I'm just gonna... I can just... I'm just gonna go along... Yeah, I'm just gonna... I'm gonna update the React app locally.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm updating the package.
So design, updated some design, the hover needs to be green. Then design system is based on the, we updated the component library afterwards. The component library is consumed by the application. So now we're on this stage, right?
Yeah.
He's updating the library in in the React app. That's our scoped application.
Yes, so here is the button. So let's make it bigger. You guys can see it. Oh yeah, okay, it's the wrong way. So the button's imported up here from the library, and then it's used down here. And then if we go to localhost and update.
You need to restart.
You sure? Okay.
Yeah, stop. Yeah, this one.
Yay, there it is. Okay, and then we can ask our app like, hi, how are you?
No, wait.
Or what was it?
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, oh my god, it's responding. Like, it must be sentient or something. And then we can ask it like, how are you doing? Or how are you? Wait.
Yeah.
Yes. It's like, oh wait, troubling answer. Like, I'm doing great, only I'm trapped on your local host. Can you push me to the cloud? So let's do that. So let's commit the changes I made.
Yep.
And it's basically only the yarn log file that tracks the package number.
Yep. Package version. This, yeah.
And now this is going to spin up its own Jenkins.
Yeah.
That's over here. So they're going to just show up, right? Yeah.
Yep.
And then let's see how far this one is. Oh, it's still building dependencies.
Yeah, this will take 1 minute. Yeah, design system is quite big with the storybook. This is around 3 megabytes actually. So this is quite a huge React.js application. And yes, build process complains like, oh, you've got such a big JSON file or JS file. You need to split it. Okay, maybe later.
After the demo.
After the demo.
We're going to get to splitting.
Yeah.
it doesn't answer to any more questions. So I was thinking about adding like 10 or something, but I couldn't remember them. Yeah, can you talk more about?
Okay, can I talk more? So yeah, we've updated the dependency. Now we're deploying the production application, and this process we already pulled all the changes from Git repository for our library, but this process is showcasing the storybook. So it deploys a new storybook to the cloud. So you can share the link and showcase it to someone else. It's like this is how this is. You can click on the buttons on storybook.
Yeah.
So default yellow. You can see how they look. The different ones. The text field.
These have only one.
But yeah. Well, we'll still use it. So this is our label or title, and this is the default one. Can we go to this? Yay, it's been. So.
These are the reactions we have usually as well. Something to put. So.
Ta-da! It's like, it's now green and it's now square. So and then go to the app building process. And this one is around 3 minutes, I'd say. 25 seconds. And we're building a sheet.
It has Merkel.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
I'm still a bit missing the link between Zeppelin and then what's the other tool?
The storybook.
This is a storybook. Yeah, basically I'm the link, the developer. So what we were looking for is some system that could like automatically, basically from design generate a component. There's things like Framer X that that do that, but it didn't really. Yeah, I don't know why we didn't go for the Framer X. It didn't really fit in our. It's not really mature enough yet. Let's just say that it would generate like JavaScript, and it wouldn't be like we wanted it. It would just have like one way of generating it.
So from Zeppelin, it's like an image, right? Like Adobe Illustrator.
I can show you later.
And then how come it becomes a code in design system that you upload to Storybook?
No, I update the design system myself. I look at Zeppelin.
Yeah.
It's over here. I'll show you. This is Zeppelin. And if you click like on the button, it has like all the styles over here and all the fonts and all that stuff. So I can just copy this and I just paste it in the design system.
Yeah. There is a React Native extension.
Yeah, there's also a React Native extension, and then I update the design system, and then we do the process that we showed you. I think it's finished over here. Hey, yay, and it's updated. So we can ask it like, how is the cloud? Oh my god, I think we created a monster over here. It's like a runaway AI or something.
I had to do nothing.
Okay, let's say by. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go back to some others. So, the lessons learned that from the continuous delivery. So lessons learned and Jenkins. So sketch to design system. This should really answer some of your questions. The level of automation must be improved. We would like to see the improvement in this area, in this field. So the tools are actually starting to appear on the market. So we've got the Zeppelin, the Zeppelin with the styled components extension that you can install, and it will spill out. Can you show the Zeppelin thingy? So it can spill out on the right side, styled components as they appear styled in the component.
Yeah, styled components is basically a library that allows you to write CSS in your JavaScript. Let's just say it that way.
So we've seen this extension. Then we were collaborating somehow with Framer X with React export functionality. So they do promise this. There is a Sketch to React project. Well, that one from Swag.
It's a paid product.
Yeah, it is a paid product. Well, it doesn't cost that much, but you have to use it. It also integrates with InVision Design System Manager and also produces a React app. They have released a bunch of YouTube videos, but we didn't pick them up. And then, of course, there is the old player InVision. There is Brand.ai that promised to deliver from Sketch to React, and Brand.ai was recently purchased by InVision. So maybe this will be incorporated somehow. The problem is Sketch is too new and too macOS.
Yeah, and these tools are the ones that are going to bridge that design to development gap that we have right now.
And yeah, the Envision DSM.
Or we
design
hope so.
Yeah, we really hope so. Then private NPM modules. npm.js is paid service for private modules if you want to post it over there. The GitHub package registry anyway needs to be enabled, and there is no afterwards. You can sign up for beta, but there is no. I have not received an email that I'm on the list. But talking to the support team, they did really say like, yeah, I seen you on the list. I +1 you, and it's like I want to do it. I need it fast. And it's like we have a meetup in a couple of days. But well, it's still not enabled. Like, wait for your email.
For those who don't know, GitHub package registry is basically the same as NPM, but it's something that GitHub started offering instead. It's an alternative to NPM, basically.
Yeah, they support like Ruby gems. They can replace Maven NPM modules. There is no composer support for PHP, which I'm really waiting for. Yeah, a couple of.
He's also a PHP developer.
PHP developer. Good old PHP developer.
Yeah.
But it's just computers. You just tell them what to do, and they do it.
Okay, great.
And you have to do it right. And well, okay. And even though you do see this tab that is like, yeah, there's your packages on your FRGLEAP account, and there are no packages over here. This needs to be enabled afterwards. So this is not working. This is not enabled on your one. And the support told me like, oh, well, it is free to download the packages from your package registry. Like, duh, it's not enabled. I cannot upload them there to download them from there. And of course, so the third one is Git plus SSH direct reference. Can you show that package JSON file?
Yeah, right here.
Yeah. So this one. This is how we import our private node module. Yep. Directly referencing Git plus SSH. And then we have authorization based on SSH keys, and well, you can clone it. Jenkins also has credentials to access our GitHub repositories, so it can pull and build the whole React application with no hassle. And it is secure and private, and it is quick and easy. Next one. Then lessons learned and Jenkins build module and Jenkins. So building the modules, one of the ways that we tried is like build the module and push it back to the repo. So Jenkins picks up the updates, it builds the module, and then it tries to push back to Git. But it's considered to be bad practice, like super bad. And it's really not that intuitive. There is no, when Jenkins builds it, there is no default branch, so there is no branch. It misses tags. It doesn't do references, or so it's like really weird Git, and you might be breaking your head afterwards. Well, yes, remote origin head.
That's a pun.
Yeah, it's a pun intended. Git repository afterwards, because you can see our struggles over there. Well, there were some iterations. You can so we decided at this point to build on Git pre-commit hooks with Husky. You can enable this quite easily as an npm module. Yeah, it's nice. It's always up to date, and the developer basically builds it on their own machine when he pushes it. So updating one file, and then actually pushing two files or committing two files.
It's the example we showed when we were committing.
Oh yeah, the same over here. So this dist is the actual final component, the built one, and this I didn't modify this. It was auto-magically pushed to the repo. And well, the better way, of course, would be built by Jenkins and publish it to an external registry. There's a couple of them on the market, not only npm.js. There's GitHub that you need to enable. There's Fuse, I guess, or FYSE or something. Well, there are a couple of them. And questions? So yeah.
Are you able to use a lot of your style components for multiple projects? I assume because you have the library, so you can.
This is one of the benefits of splitting the components from the React application itself, or from the application itself. So this we can produce introduce a design system for a corporation that can start well, their own journey into the cloud or their own journey into application development, and they will have all the same styles and they will be reusable. And then if someone develops something, changes something, you just pull the new package and voila, all the follow-up applications, well, they are up to date, I'd say. That was the
It's
split.
usually better if you work like in bigger groups where you have like 100 developers working on different applications. There, the design system is like you have like small teams that focus on maintaining the design system. So they will always like check the design and then update the design system, and then you can just import that and just update your components. So it's very useful if you're working in like really big teams.
Yep.
Okay. Any other question?
What was the reason you didn't use NPM?
Paid reason. I
So
have to
private
pay
is
for it.
paid there?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want organization and you want
Oh,
private
okay,
packages,
okay.
then it is paid, I think.
Otherwise it's free. I think.
Yeah, I guess it is free. Even though we do have our package listed over there.
Oh.
But it's from a couple of days ago, so I was trying the things, parts of the auto, the NPM auto, they were working, but the other parts were not. And yeah, it successfully pushed it over here, but
When you tried to push it again, it just failed.
Yeah,
So
after
that's where
afterwards.
all the red came in from, like lesson learned.
Okay.
there was one success, and well, the rest of the development didn't succeed.
I have one more question.
Yeah, sure.
Who's deciding what's good enough for getting into the design system? Which component? Is there a certain person or a certain team that decides, okay, this component is good enough for a design system, and go further into that?
You mean about how the component will look like, or you mean like, is this component important enough to be in a design system?
Both actually, design-wise and code-wise.
The designer and the developer together.
Ah,
We sit down and it's never like in a funnel. We always like cooperate a lot with each other before we do anything. So we talk about stuff like that in meetings.
And of course, it comes from the initial vision. Then, well, designers working closer to the customer that envisions something, and then, yeah, we implement basically designs. But with this two-way street, this is how designs look. This is how they actually behave.
And you use a storybook to discuss with the customer how it will look like before you go to production.
Multiple
Probably.
options.
Yeah.
See this, see that. You can drag in some data in it, some interactions.
Okay.
Would you imagine this approach scale into mobile applications with React Native?
Yes, it does support. Does it storybook support React Native? I'm not sure.
It does.
It does. Yeah.
Then
Yes.
it's probably
Well,
would be
it's similar. If it's a React Native component, it's React Native, then yes, because then it's still just JavaScript.
And style components are used in React Native development, so it's more about styling
Yeah.
and actual implementation. I think the design systems then will be two different modules, one for React Native because it does need support the native part, and one will be for the front end, for the
Yeah.
web. So maybe some Flutter later on, I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah. The Flutter experts are in the back.
Yeah, they're over there.
Isn't it dangerous to build the pre-commit hook on the developer machine instead of like real centralized build server?
Indeed. Well,
We live on the edge.
I like to live on the edge. I think with Husky 1.3, the original, the original implementation, the hook was not working on Windows for some reason. But then I updated Husky to version 3, and it is working on Windows like no problem. And also, part of the pre-commit hooks is prettier, or linting your sources, or and it can immediately detect. Well, the linting and prettier can immediately detect like your code style is not right, your code formatting is not right.
And it reformats it before it commits and pushes it. So.
Yeah, that part is clear, but you say that you also build something to the list.
Well,
But,
yeah, it's
conceptually maybe it's dangerous that if like something is not compatible or developer PC is compromised?
Yarn.lock. Yarn.lock and package lock JSON. So this is how you preserve the continuity. You lock the versions of the libraries that you use, and that's why Jenkins uses the same versions, exactly the same versions of the libraries.
But if it wasn't compatible, wouldn't it already be failing?
I mean, more like, well, I'm not familiar with content technologies. Just conceptually, if you like, in the dist something happens there because it just committed from the PC, so maybe you can inject something that is like dangerous. And it's not built on the like centralized server. That's the whole idea of the CI.
We saw it kind of like went wrong over here because like we had a bit of sentience happening. So.
Dangerous, sure, but then, yeah, indeed, the better way would actually be not to build it on a pre-hook. Yeah, linting, source formatting, sure, but then at the very end, yes, separating of source code and the actual distribution should be done by Jenkins itself. Yeah, we've mentioned this in where? In lessons learned.
You mentioned it.
I've mentioned it in multiple places, somewhere okay. So yes, the better approach is yes to use some sort of external system. Well, and post it over there. Then you have your sources and development things in one place and the actual product in the other one. Well, for now we decided to quick and easy, quick and dirty on a pre-hook. Actually, this was like a couple of minutes, I guess. One more line.
There was a lot of cheering. But okay.
Yeah, I was trying to implement this build and push, that other thing. Build and push. This is really horrible to implement, and I was like, okay, let's not do that. Let's not go this way. Even though I think the original. So yes, we based our setup on the storybook design system themselves. So they use Circle CI, and actually on the release process, they do the npm.js publishing. Yeah, npm.js publishing. But at the same time, they also tag the version, and they also do commit it. So to commit to the original repo. Do I have Jenkins file? Can you open some Jenkins file?
Yeah.
So this.
Do you want to switch?
No, that one. Yes. So this is why this step is everywhere, basically. If the changelog, if the latest commit does not have a skip CI part of it, well, then do the build. But if you build it and then push it to the Git repo, it will trigger another build. So you are in an infinite loop, and only Chuck Norris can exit the infinite loop. So this is to prevent that. Oh, come on, Chuck Norris survived 2 heart attacks within a day.
Okay.
He's still alive.
That's great. Yes.
How do you make sure that the quality stays good enough of these components? Do you test it?
Not in this build, but snapshot test came to mind when we were making all of this.
Sorry, what?
Snapshot test with Jest.
Okay.
And then just have a testing build. The step is actually in there, but
Yeah, the step is there, but we haven't finished this setup. So there is we don't release it, we skip it. So there is a chromatic app. This is what the storybook people use, and apparently you can do the whole storybook testing.
Yeah.
Some changes.
So you could actually test it as a component, just
Just
separate
separate
from it.
components. Yeah, basically that. And or yeah, you can implement the Puppeteer. You can implement Jest with Puppeteer. And we are looking for QA.
You don't say.
We have some external ones.
smooth, man.
We have some external ones, and well, we would like to have a nice one.
Okay. Any other question? No? I think we're done.
And we're done.